The castle you know as Downton Abbey holds a room that's been sealed since 1923. When the current Earl finally opened it in 1987, what he discovered made him seal it again immediately. 3 people have seen inside since. None will speak about it until tonight. The Awakening. This is Highclere Castle. You know it as Downton Abbey. You don't know the truth. Behind these walls, real darkness makes television drama look like a fairy tale here. The Carnarvon family purchased land cursed by medieval monks who died here. The bishops of Winchester ruled this ground for 600 years. Their palace stood tall, but Henry VIII destroyed it during his rampage. Monks cursed the land as they fled. No family shall know peace here, they swore. The Carnarvons ignored the warning. For 150 years, they lived in a simple manner. Then, ambition awakened something dark. Birth of the Beast. The 3rd Earl of Carnarvon demanded a palace to rival Windsor Castle itself. He hired Sir Charles Barry, architect of Britain's Parliament, a man who built power. Barry's vision was Gothic revival grandeur, but construction revealed ancient bones. Workers found a mass grave beneath the foundation. Medieval monks, hands still bound. The Earl ordered silence. Construction continued. The bones were buried in the walls. Building began in earnest. Strange accidents plagued the site from day one now. A stonemason fell from scaffolding, screaming about hands pulling him down to death. 3 workers quit, claiming the castle watched them with invisible eyes at night. Barry himself wrote in his diary, "This structure resists birth like a cursed child." 8 years of construction, 780,000 bricks, 365 rooms, 1 for each day of the year. But the 3rd Earl died before completion. His last words, "The house demands payment." His son, the 4th Earl, finished the palace in 1850. The curse had just begun to wake. The Carnarvon bloodline. The 4th Earl lived only 40 years. His heir drowned mysteriously in Highclere's lake. The 5th Earl inherited at 24. Sickly, obsessed with Egypt, searching for immortality. He funded archaeologist Howard Carter's expedition. They sought Tutankhamun's tomb. November 1922. They found it. Gold, treasure, and a warning carved inside the chamber. "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king," it said. Lord Carnarvon ignored it. He entered the tomb. He touched the pharaoh's golden mask. 5 months later, a mosquito bite on his cheek became infected. Sepsis spread fast. April 5th, 1923. He died in Cairo, screaming about a presence in his hotel room now. At the exact moment of death, Cairo's lights failed. His dog howled and died in England. His body returned to Highclere. Servants reported his spirit walked the Egyptian room. Lady Almina, his widow, heard footsteps in the exhibition hall every night at 2 a.m. She conducted séances to contact him. Something answered, but it wasn't her husband. The entity revealed secrets about Highclere's construction, the bones in the walls. Terrified, Lady Almina sealed the séance room. It remains locked to this day, always. Interior of secrets. The castle holds 365 rooms. Only 60 are shown to tourists. The rest hold memories. The Great Hall rises 50 feet high. Leather walls absorb every whispered conspiracy. Gothic arches frame portraits of Carnarvons who died young, all before age 60, always. The main staircase, carved oak, took 12 craftsmen 3 years. One went mad building it. He carved tiny faces into the banisters. They say the faces change expressions nightly. Upstairs, the state bedrooms hosted royalty. Edward VII conducted his affair in one. The Mercia bedroom, named for ancient kingdom, remains cold even in summer heat waves. Thermometers read 58 degrees year-round. No explanation, no draft, just eternal cold. The Arundel bedroom witnessed a countess's suicide in 1876. Her mirror still reflects. Guests report seeing a woman in the reflection who isn't in the room with them there. The library contains 5,600 books. One holds a confession letter from the third countess. She wrote it before her death, admitting to poisoning her husband. The book is hidden. Current family members know which book. They will never reveal it to anyone ever here. The smoking room became an operating theatre in WWI. Blood stained the floor permanently. The drawing room, 60 feet of elegance, hosted wounded soldiers on cots. 50 men suffered. Some died. Their spirits remain. Staff refuse to clean these rooms alone after dark. The cellars stretch 80 feet underground. Victorian servants lived in eternal darkness. Tunnels connect storage rooms. A maid vanished here in 1888. Never found. Still heard. During renovations in 1968, workers heard screaming from sealed tunnels. Work stopped. The Egyptian exhibition room spans 2,000 square feet. It should never have been built. The 5th Earl installed artifacts from his expeditions, items removed from sacred tombs. A sarcophagus lid stands against one wall. Hieroglyphs warn against moving it forever. In 1987, a curator tried to relocate it. He suffered a stroke mid-lift, paralyzed. The room was closed to tourists after that incident. Only family enters, very rarely. When darkness fell, World War I transformed paradise into hell. Lady Almina opened a hospital here. She funded everything herself. 50 beds, operating theatre, recovery wards, and death. Soldiers arrived with wounds. Modern medicine couldn't heal. Gangrene, shell shock, horror. Private Edward Fisher died during leg amputation. His last words haunt Highclere still. "I'll never leave this beautiful place," he whispered. Staff say he kept that promise. A figure in WWI uniform appears in the saloon, always standing, always watching, silent. He matches Fisher's description perfectly. The portrait drawn by a nurse in 1915 here. Lady Almina worked herself to exhaustion. She spent her entire fortune on the soldiers. After the war, she was broke. The 6th Earl divorced her. She died alone and penniless. Her ghost walks the hospital rooms, they say, checking on patients who died 100 years ago. The curse claimed the 5th Earl. His funeral procession stopped at castle gates. The horses refused to move forward. For 20 minutes, they stamped and screamed in terror. Finally, a priest blessed the path. The horses moved. The Earl was buried on grounds. His grave sits in a peaceful plot, but his spirit never rests inside that peaceful tomb. The Great Depression hit. The 6th Earl sold castle contents. Bankruptcy loomed. A painting sold to a London collector returned to Highclere 3 times, unexplained. It would vanish from the buyer's home and reappear on Highclere's wall overnight there. The buyer gave up, convinced the castle reclaims what belongs to it, always, forever. World War II. Evacuee children lived at Highclere. They drew pictures of their new home. Every child drew. The old man in the library watching us. But no old man worked there. The 3rd Earl died in that library in 1849. The children described him perfectly, exactly. The sealed room and modern curse. West wing, 3rd floor. A door locked since Lady Almina's 1923 séance. Never opened. Estate managers refuse entry. A 2003 film crew tried. Cameras failed after 4 minutes. The footage shows static and voices screaming, "Leave!" It never aired. NDAs were signed. A housekeeper revealed the truth in 2019. Almina summoned something using tomb artifacts. An ancient entity manifested, speaking dead languages. It asked to stay in that room. Almina agreed, not understanding. She sealed it there. It waits behind steel doors. The current countess feels watched passing that corridor. Locks changed yearly, always. Today, Highclere needs £12 million in repairs. The family lives in only 6 of 365 rooms. Why abandon 359 rooms? Staff know the truth. Some rooms aren't empty, never were empty. Daily, 1,250 tourists see Downton's glamour. Tours avoid West Wing, cellars, sealed areas. What visitors see is a stage set. The real Highclere hides behind those locked doors. The family won't sell despite crushing debt. Some legacies can't transfer. Curses bind. Search interest spiked 203% for Highclere secrets. People sense the hidden dark truths. This castle witnessed 370 years of death and supernatural events. It remembers everything. Highclere stands magnificent against English sky. Beautiful, deadly, alive, always watching. The Carnarvon family guards its secrets. They must. They're bound by blood and curse. At night, when tours end, the castle breathes. The walls remember. They always remember. This is Highclere, where history doesn't whisper. It screams, but only if you listen. This is Houses That Whisper. Subscribe. These walls have so much more to reveal to you.